we record examples for the drive class and the motor class and the gamepad class. Now, what are the relationships between the drive, gamepad, and motor? Is that the drive class has a motor class in it and has a gamepad class in it. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you more examples, and watch this one when you do your homework. Let's create a dog class. And so we put them into chapter 8, and we'll call this dog. Again, in here, I'm going to put the class as a public. And I'm not going to have a main, so I'm going to delete that main. So what's the attributes for a dog? Let's just pick some very common one. So we'll say private, integer, maybe we care about the age of a dog, and private, and we'll care about the name of the dog, and we'll want to know what's the gender of the dog, so we're using a character for it. And the last thing, we're probably interested in the breed. What kind of dog? Okay. So let's just use this for attributes for the dog class. The next thing we're going to build is we're going to build the constructor. And the constructor is a public method. The name of the constructor is the same as the class name, no return. So we can do two ways. Let's just say we can create a constructor with no parameters. Now, the purpose of the constructor is to initialize the attributes of the object. So if we don't have any of the parameters here, and maybe we can do an interactive from the user. So one way we can do this one, we can ask, we can say, we can create a scanner class here. So that means we need to import java.util and scanner class. Okay, and then we'll create scanner from the keyboard equal to new scanner. And now you can see that scanner is a class, keyboard is an object, and new means we are calling the constructor of the scanner class. And in here, we pass the parameter of system A. So that means we are using the keyboard for it. And so the next thing we'll do an interactive. We'll say, how old is the dog? Okay. And then we'll put the age equal to keyboard.next int. And we can copy this one here. We can say system.out, and then the question is, what is the name? And then we can put the name here, and we want to say keyboard.next. It's not next int. we'll probably just say next, which will take a string. So here is just one word, no space. Okay. And what's the next thing we can do? We can do system.out. Say is he or she, right? And then we can ask the user to enter F or M for it. So assuming that the user enter if he, which is we say enter M, or she. Okay. Let's see. Enter M or she. Enter F. And then we'll say keyboard next. Now, next we'll take the enter as a string. And then we want the character. So we'll say this string, the character, we just take the first character out of the string. Okay, so we'll say the next will give us the string. And then we'll say that first character add the string, and we'll save this information to the gender character. Okay. And the next thing we'll ask is, what is kind, or we just say what breed is the dog. And we'll give breed is a string, so we'll do next. And so this is one way to interact with the user and to create a dog object. Now, another way is we can say public dog, and we can just take the parameters, okay? And take the parameters, integer age, string, name, and character, gender, and then we'll say string 3. And in here, we can just save, we'll say this.age means our object attribute is assign the value of what being given by the parameter. Okay, so the age here is the parameter, since the name is the same as our attribute's name, so we can use this to differentiate the name age here versus the name in the attributes. And so we can do the same. We'll say this name equal to name, and we'll say this dot gender equal to gender, and this dot breed equals. Okay, so this is a parameterized constructor. Okay, so I will say this one is parameterized constructor. And we can also do the setters and getters again. So we can do like setters, right? So public void, if we want to set age, and we will give integer age, and so we'll say this.age equals age. So when things change, we can change the age, and public void, we can reset the name. Normally we don't reset the name, so let's not do that. And let's just do, well, we can reset the name if you want to, but normally it's in real application, we don't really reset the name, and we don't really reset the gender and the breed. But just to show you how we can do it, again, if you gave me a new name, of course I can change the name of the dog. So we can reset the name. But the age changes every year. So obviously we need a method, public method, to reset the age. And the next thing we'll do, we can do getters, okay? And because we set all the attributes to be a private, so there's no way outside this class and we can see the information about the attributes. So we can get the information through a public method. So for example, if we want to know the age, because the age is integer, so we'll say return an integer value and we'll get age, okay? And that simply just return the value of the age, right? And we'll do, if we want to know the name, we'll say get name, and we can just return name. And we can do public character and get gender. And we can simply return gender. And same here, public. And then we'll do string get re. Okay. And we can return. So that's getters. And what's the last thing we want to do here? We probably want to add, for example, a behavior of a dog. So for example, we want the dog to be able to, the behavior, kind of like a real behavior. So we can say public void and dog may become bark. Okay, so this is a print out. So system.out.print 9. And we'll just say wolf, wolf, wolf. Okay. And then the last thing obviously we want to do is the toString to present all the information about the dog. And so we can return a string, and we'll probably say name and name. And what else we do here? We can continue at space, and we'll say age. Maybe we'll just print them in one line, and we'll say age. And the next thing we do, again, well, maybe I'll have, after the name, I have a semicolon here, and then the age, again, I have a semicolon and the space, and continue, and I can have gender, and we can print gender here. Well, I can have a plus in the new line, which is fine, okay? So gender, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is a breed. So have a space, and then breed, and print breed out. So this, I want to present my dog. After I finish this one here, I can add a class to testing the class. So what I can do here is I'll create a pet owner here. Okay. So in the pet owner here, I will say public, and in the main, I can create a dog. So let's just say dog, and we'll say my dog. Okay. So I can use, let's just say we're using the parameterized constructor. And so what I can pass here, the first one, I need to pass the information is the age, which is an integer. So I'll pass my dog. This is 3 years old. And the next thing is a name. It's a string. So I'm going to say it's blue. And then I need to pass the gender, which is a character. So I cannot do this one here. So it's a single quote. That's he. And the breed is French Bull. And so in that way, I create an object of my dog. And so I can kind of using to testing other method there. For example, I can say my dog can bark, okay, and I can, this is cause the bark, and I can also print out the information about my dog, and that caused the toString. So now the pet owner has a dog object. Okay, so if I run this one here, and I should be able to see the woof woof and also print out the information about the dog.